did you put fresh water in the goldfish bowl? They didn't drink up what I gave them this morning. So these two caterpillars were watching a butterfly fly around, and one says to the other, they'll never get me up in one of those.
Rip Van Winkle, so the story goes, had a long white beard and a big fat nose. He slept so long in the Catskill Hills. He got a job as a test pilot for sleeping pills.
Yes, this is a story of Rip Van Winkle. Let's try that again with a little music. Rip Van Winkle. Well, you're all right on your rip and your van, but you're a little flat on your winkle. Rip was a funny-looking little man. He was so bow-legged he had to straddle a barrel to get his boots on. His wife used to hang him over the door for good luck. He didn't have a hair on his head, not even eyebrows. If you looked at Rip from a few feet away, it looked like his neck was blowing bubble gum. He was so bald he had to carry his dandruff around his hands. And boy, was he lazy. Rip would stay up all night so he wouldn't have to wash his face in the morning. Or he would take a snooze before he went to sleep. That was so he wouldn't be too tired when he was resting up for his nap. And boy, was he absent-minded. He used to kiss the dirty dishes goodnight and throw his wife in the sink. Mrs. Van Winkle was very ugly. She had a complexion like 2 miles of bad road. When she walked into a room, mice would jump on the chairs. But she had very friendly eyes. They kept looking at each other. And what a big mouth. Talk, 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 talk. She could give an aspirin a headache. She had a long, playing tongue. She was always yelling at Rip. And he was yelling at her. And then she would yell at him. And he would yell at her. And between her yelling and him yelling, it was drafty around there. Poor Rip, he was always having trouble. One day he was taking a milk bath and he had a terrible accident. The cow slipped on a piece of soap and fell on his head. He was the only one in town with a homogenized scalp. Another time he complained to his wife that he had a terrible headache because his collar was too tight. She said, "Stupid, your collar isn't too tight. You got your neck stuck through the buttonhole." Rip had a dog named Wolf. Or was it a wolf named Dog? Anyway, it was a cross between a pointer and a setter. But that was the trouble. He never set where he pointed. He was a hunting dog, and Rip always took him along when he went hunting. Rip was a great hunter, and he had his own way of catching rabbits. He would hide in the grass and make a noise like a carrot. One day Rip said to his wife, "I'm going hunting." And she said, "But you don't have any pants on." And he said, "That's what I'm hunting for, my pants." So he started walking through the woods and talking to the flowers. He would say, "Hello, Dogwood." "Hello, Pussy Willow." "Meow." "Hello, Gardenia." "Hello, Carnation." "Hello, Daisy." "Hello yourself, big boy." As Rip walked along, he met an old Dutchman with a jug. He said, "Here, drink this and you will feel fine." So he drank it and he didn't feel fine. He didn't feel anything. He was numb. Then he fell. He fell asleep. He fell asleep and slept for 20 long years. Wow, that Ovaltine is powerful stuff. Yup, he slept for 20 years. He wore out 437 pillow slips, 672 bed sheets, 967 blankets, and 1,289 alarm clocks that rang and rang and rang till their bells fell off. All of a sudden, he woke up. Rip still had no hair on his head, but now he had a long white beard that covered him all the way down to his toes, which was just as well, as he never did find that pair of pants. Rip didn't know he'd been sleeping for 20 years, so he jumped up and started running home. Faster and faster, faster and faster. He was running so fast he accidentally stepped on his beard and ran all the way up to his chin before he could stop. Almost broke his neck. Now Rip was back home. His old neighbors told him, "Rip, you've been asleep for 20 years." And Rip replied, "No wonder I missed my appointment at the barber shop." Poor Rip, his family was all gone and he was alone. But he finally got himself a nice job. He used to pin badges on frankfurters and sell them for police dogs. He lived to be 100 years old, which is a pretty ripe old age. As a matter of fact, it's a mellow age. Mellow nothing. It's darn near rotten. And the moral of the story is, don't worry if your work is hard and your rewards are few. Remember that the mighty oak was once a nut like you.